I'm Anne Elizabeth. I'm one of the moderators here at Flip It Red, where our goal is to flip as many seats from blue to red as possible. Today, we are speaking with Mike Cargile. Mike is running for Congress in the 35th District against incumbent Norma Torres. I love how you're not afraid to mention the rights of the unborn, because supporting abortion really starts for people at a young age. And I say this because it's the cool stance. And I have to admit, when I was young and uneducated, I was right there. And I'd argue with one girlfriend of mine who was pro-life because it was an idea put into my head just by my own peers to support it. I never knew another way. We all did. And we all said, the baby isn't alive yet. It's fine. It doesn't hurt anyone. That's what I thought. But then in my early 20s, something changed for me. Well, two things changed. First, I had a girlfriend who was attacked. She was raped, and she had the baby, which was surprising for a lot of people. She said it was horrible going through the attack, but every time she looked at her son, she said he takes all the pain. And I think this is important because had she gone through it, she would have been mentally scarred twice, one from rape and one from abortion. And the second thing that changed me is I saw a movie about it, and it educated me, and it was called
Unplanned?
No, it was called The Business of Abortion.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
couldn't stomach it. It was really so horrendous.
Yeah.
And it's clear that the baby feels everything and acknowledges a violent attack on them unto their death. And it's incredibly sad. And it leaves one dead. And it is so important to say this, but one wounded, because she'll never be the same, will she?
Right.
And
Right.
mentally, it's so crushing on her spirit. So when people actually know and understand the multi-billion-dollar and racist abortion industry, because it is an industry, profitable at that, but when people understand and learn the truth, like how they prescribe birth control pills along with antibiotics, which cancel out the pills, so they see the second round of the same person come through and they make more money, they have return customers on purpose. And I believe this education will cause hearts and minds like mine was to be changed. So let's talk about abortion, because you take a pretty strong stance and it's on your page, and I don't have a lot of representatives that actually put it on their page.
Well, I put everything I can on my page. But in fact, I don't even like to call it abortion. Let's talk about life.
Yeah.
Life and the sanctity of life. Because when we denigrate or we cheapen life on one side, we cheapen it on the other. And we've seen that with governors who cavalierly threw sick people into nursing homes and have murdered thousands of our elderly purposely, I believe. And I think they should be criminally held for this, in the same way that we would hold Hitler or Stalin responsible. You can't hide behind your office when you're purposely killing people. But on the other hand, we have the unborn and we have babies. Now, probably one of the greatest acts of legislation I've seen so far in my lifetime are the heartbeat bills, that it's incontrovertible when this little entity has a heartbeat, that it has all of the necessary apparatus there to sustain a heartbeat. It has to have a central nervous system. It has to have a muscular system. It has to have a skeletal system. It has to have all these intact before it has that first beat. And you cannot say that that is not a living being. One of the cruel ironies of this race for me is my opponent used to be a 911 dispatch operator. And when you get a call, is the victim alive or dead? Well, what do you check for? A pulse, a heartbeat. The victim is alive if they have a heartbeat. So how can you get all these awards from Planned Parenthood, which she has, and she's very, very proud of the accolades she's received as a proponent of Planned Parenthood and thousands and millions of abortions? To me, that's reprehensible.
Yes.
But life is so, you can't quantify it. It's the most precious thing you have. And I would want to safeguard that. That's why we have it in multiple places in our Declaration and our Constitution, the right to life, the right to life. Now, whose right is it? Well, currently, if a woman is pregnant and she gets murdered It's ruled a dual homicide because both of these beings have a life that was ended. They're alive. She has a baby. It is alive. Now, I can't give a pass completely to the Republicans or the conservatives on this either, because you've screamed, we have to, we're anti-abortion, we're pro-life, we want the babies out there. Okay, then make it so it's not even a choice for the young pregnant mom to make. You go, look, if you don't want it, we have a list of families ready, willing, and able to take this baby and create a life for them. Right now, if you're a couple, you have to hire attorneys. It's thousands of dollars. It's so much time when all you want to do is take care of a baby so that it's not killed. Let's give it a life. So we bear responsibility in this too. We have to come alongside legislatively. Let's clear the decks for all the moms that have a baby. And I don't know how you got there, and this, but that is not your life. That's a baby's life. And I'm going to safeguard that life. And I'm going to help that life get into a loving family. And one of the cool things that the president has done recently, and people don't realize this, with the foster care program, when a child is in foster care and they hit 18, if there's no family there, they're on the streets. And a lot of our homeless problem here in California are kids, they turn 18, which is almost a death sentence for them. And they wind up in crimes and drugs. Young girls are pregnant and abused and sexualized and drug abuse and all this stuff. So when we come alongside the foster care program, as the president did, making it easier for a child to be adopted into a family, then he's taken a hard hit at the homeless problem too. And I applaud that. But we need to look at our family. That's why I'm running as the family man. I am the family man. I want to protect the families. I want to provide for the families. And I want the families to preserve who they are. Whatever religion you practice, I love all these families. I really do. And I can honestly say this, honestly, other than maybe my opponent, I don't have a single enemy on planet Earth. I don't have anyone that I have any animosity towards or anger towards, and I don't know of anyone who has that feeling towards me either. I think God has put me for a real reason, maybe to make peace with a lot of groups and a lot of people. I hope so. I hope he uses me like that.